From the studios of Books in Motion in Spokane, Washington, this is Maynard Villers reading Case of the Vanishing Beauty, a Shel Scott mystery by Richard S. Prather. Now, let's begin with Case of the Vanishing Beauty, Chapter 1. She looked hotter than a welder's torch and much, much more interesting. Up till now, the floor show had been getting less attention than the restrooms. A Mexican hat dance, some Mexican troubadours gnashing their teeth through La Cucaracha and Cielito Lindo, and a swarthy comic who wasn't comic. But as soon as she walked onto the little dance floor and stood in the spotlight, everybody went nuts. Guys were applauding as if their hands were shot full of Novocaine, and yelling things that sounded to me like "Olé" and "Bravo, Lina" and "Hot damn." They liked her. I couldn't blame them. She was in her early 20s and tall, about 5'9", and every inch of it loaded. Her lips were the dangerous red of a stoplight, and her eyes were the same black as the masses of black hair piled high on top of her head. She was slim, but with hips that were amply ample, and high, full breasts that she was careless about, but nobody else ever would be. Plus a flat stomach, a slim waist, and golden skin as smooth as melting ice cream. She stood in the spotlight against a painted set, her background made of heavy wood, wearing high-heeled black shoes, dark hose, black form-fitting shorts that looked as if they'd been melted on, and a scarlet bolero that didn't quite conceal what it was meant to not quite conceal. I could have taken my pulse and tried for the record. I gathered from the yelling still going on that this was Lina. I stopped poking foolishly at the ice in my highball and looked across the table at Miss Georgia Martin. "Hi," I said.
"Hi yourself," she answered in her husky, educated voice. "I thought you might have forgotten I was with you, Mr. Scott."
I grinned at her. "You know better. I was just wondering what caused all the ruckus."
"Now you know, Mr. Scott."
"Yeah, and what's with this Mr. Scott business? A minute ago you were calling me Shel. Incidentally, you could take my mind clear off the floor show. No trouble at all. Just break down and give me half an idea what the devil I'm supposed to be doing." She shook her blonde head.
"No can do, Shel. Sorry."
"What the hell, Georgia? I feel like a gigolo. I'm a dance boy. I'd take you out on the expense account. I'd buy you dinner on the expense account. That any way for me to earn a fee? Give me something I can sink my teeth into."
"Patience."
She looked at me levelly from blue eyes that seemed a little emptier all of a sudden.
"You'll earn your fee. More than you get, probably. Believe me. Just being seen around with you is worth something to me. Georgia Martin with a private detective. Besides, Shel, this is only the beginning. There'll probably be enough fireworks before you're through."
"Okay, I'll hang on a little while, sweetheart. What'll it be? Tacos, enchiladas, or the special combination plate number 3? We were at a candlelit table just off the dance floor in a little Mexican dive on Bernard Street in Los Angeles. It was small, as colorful as the flag square at the United Nations headquarters, and jammed to the rafters with a Saturday night crowd about twice as big as it should have been for comfort. Outside, flickering nervously in the fine, cold drizzle of rain, was a neon sign that laboriously spelled out El Cuchillo, which, translated, means the knife. I was taking my client out to dinner, at her request and on the expense account. Great, huh? Only, as you may have gathered, I knew what the score was, like I know how high is up. Miss Georgia Martin, my attractive client across the table from me, just said,
"I can't tell you any more than I have."
That was practically nothing. I gargled the last of my bourbon and water and looked over the menu. There were a couple of dozen kinds of Mexican foods, but I didn't see any prime ribs or steaks. A note at the bottom of the menu said that no imitation or adulterated materials were used in the preparation of their foods. Their chili powder and spices were of the finest quality and all imported from Mexico.